All right, well, I'ma just get out of here. It's the green glasses for me. Y'all make some noise for Cam Kirk. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Please don't hit your head. Don't hit your head.
How y'all doing? Y'all good? For sure. Well, I want to first, before we get into this music one, because this one is really special to me. This is actually something that I had on my vision board, a conversation I wanted to do for quite some time, and using yesterday's tomorrow to get a lot of my wishes out the way. So I've already heard from a lot of speakers that I'm actually super fan of. So this conference is truly curated by. I appreciate every single one of y'all, and it's very special to see y'all. To y'all time, energy has some of our computer service events to be here, and that's super, super special to me. So here we're right on the applause for y'all the show. So just a quick temperature check. I have all the carbs I know. You all are engaged in whether it's a success. Well, so if y'all don't get it, that's way all the time. But I hope that learn from the people that are on the stage, take advantage of some of the ones, experience the art and mom provide. We got a shit in your orange right now. So the guy that Gatherly is actually named after an honor of him right there in Bass. So definitely want to give a shout out to him. But we got a few more sessions we're gonna do. This one is really special to me. Like I said, my brother Ray is a legend, a super legend in my book. Every single one of y'all, I'm sure, seen some of his work, whether you know it or not. And he's really been home in Dallas, please. And I'm kind of like came up. I was times nice city. So it's really special to see how we all came together years and years later, how we're still doing. So this is gonna be a really dope conversation. Yeah, I'm gonna chat a few ball as well. I hope that's what we gotta ask. But without further ado, go on to place VLA.
Yeah, what's going on, man? It's your boy AZ Production. I'm a director from Chicago. I just shot some of everybody that's popping now. I had them in the early ages, early stages. I used to watch music videos all the time. Like, I didn't know that you could shoot music videos outside of like big production TV stuff. And then one day I went to the computer and saw Windows Movie Maker. And I just started using that in iMovie and then Final Cut. Really I just stumbled upon it. I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I didn't have nobody to teach me how to do that. I was literally running gunning it. Like, when we was doing it, nobody knew that anybody was gonna blow up. Like, it was just like a bunch of kids rapping in the hood. I'm shooting 3 or 4 videos in a day. I'm just pulling up house to house shooting Chief Keef, shooting Lil Durk, Fredo. It was just like we was having fun with it. It wasn't seeming like work. It's just like I pull up on my homies today with camera. Like the videos that got 100 million, 200 million, we've never known that it was going to have the views that it had. Like, I don't think I ever had one song that was like a hit record before I shot it. Yeah, what's going on, man? It's your boy AZ. Yeah, what's going on, man? It's your boy AZ. Right. Caution. How y'all feeling?
Pleasure to be here. Sir, so welcome to this. Brother, I appreciate you doing this, taking the time on your busy schedule to be here. Yeah, I really appreciate it. So for sure, I want to get right to it. So let the crowd know just a little bit about how you got your start working with a camera. I heard a little bit in the video, but what truly was the moment that you first picked up a camera?
People always, when I say this, people always look at me like I'm crazy, but it just goes to show I really got into it by being bored. So like sometimes being bored is a way that you can like really think. Like even with my platform now that I get to, like I literally came up with it being bored. I know a lot of people just like, you feel like you just gotta always be doing something. Sometimes when you overwork yourself, it kind of kills the creative juices that you need to flow because you just always working. But I got into shooting music videos, like I said, just being bored, was on the computer and stumbled upon Windows Movie Maker. And I clicked it and I'm like, how do you work this? I have nobody to shoot. So I literally had my little sister record me on a camera. And that was my way of teaching myself how to edit. by having her record me, and then just started putting the music. I was rapping like Soulja Boy, turn my swag on, and I'm like, all right, now I'm gonna put the song to it and do it. So I really just like self-taught myself by being bored.
Now, I feel like that's a story that probably so many in this room, I know I could relate to that. Not really having that super hands-on training or technical training school when we first picked up a camera, kind of just stumbled into something. So when did you realize it was like, oh, well, I went to something, or I might actually be good at this?
I think I had shot, the first music video I shot was my partner named Rello, and we put it on Facebook, and everybody at school was going crazy. Like, how did y'all shoot a video? Because it was like rare that you seen underground music video. It was more so just like big budget stuff. So I put it on Facebook. Everybody at school was talking about it. And then I did like a couple people that I knew from the hood that rap. And I think when I knew that it was serious, when I got the first message on Facebook and somebody said, how much you would charge me to shoot a music video? I said, wait, people pay for this? Like, I was doing it all for free. I'm just shooting people I knew in the hood that said they rap. He was like, how much you would charge? So I'm just like, I have nobody to ask. So I'm like, let me see. I'm going to just throw a number out there. I hope it ain't too high. I said $50. He was like, for sure, let's do it. I said, say less. So I'm thinking it's too high, because I'm like, what do you charge because like to me, I'm looking at like, what do you charge somebody to come record them? And it's like, to me, it was just like, I'm just recording you on the camera. It don't take much, because it's just me pulling up with a little recorder. So I'm like, $50. He said, cool. I said, all right, next time I'm gonna try to say 100. Like that 50 worked. So I think I shot a few of them for like $50. I was like, all right, let me try this $100 one time. And I said 100. They was like, say less. And from there, I just literally just kept trying. The waters going up and up. But by that point, I was up there.
So that's great to know that I'm not the only one with a $50 video.
Oh yeah, I got that $50.
It was definitely what definitely came up. You know what I mean? I remember one day when I lost my job. I was working at Adidas, so I was like trying to figure out a way to pay my rent. I shot 3 music videos for this duo for $150 in one day. So 3 $50 videos in one day.
Oh, doing he started for $150. I was doing 50 a pop. It's my whole day.
They cooked me. Nah. I wonder where they at now though. That's dope. But like do I don't know if you realize, as I'm sure you do, like how just influential that movie Chicago was to the world. When you all first started out doing these videos, garage and homes, what was kind of going through y'all mental at that point? Did y'all think it would be as big as it is today?
No, because like I said, it was just like me linking up with my homies that I knew. And it was just like, they rap, I had a camera. So they were like, what you doing today? I'm like, nothing at home. They're like, pull up, we're gonna shoot some videos. So I'm like, it was to the point, like, we couldn't really shoot videos outside because there was just so much beef. Like, that's why all our videos in the house. So we literally, like, it's like 4 or 5 of rappers all living in the same. You got Ball Out, Chief Keef, Tato. So that when I come, everybody just get dressed like, oh, we about to shoot some videos there. I'll shoot 1 video upstairs, 1 in the kitchen, 1 by the boiler, and 1 outside. So it was like, we literally didn't have no budget, no that. We just literally shot 1 scene music videos and just put them on the internet, and they just started to grow.
So what was that video you think that kind of changed it all for y'all? That one video that stands out as like, we dropped this on YouTube or wherever we dropped it, it just went.
Like it wasn't that we knew. Like, we was just, I swear, like, I got the behind the scenes of it. Like, I ain't put it out because I'm gonna eventually do some type of documentary. But we was just there recording it. This is literally 20 people in the house with their shirt off, just jumping. And they was like, he was like, I just recorded these. And they was like, Keith here, Reese here, let's just shoot the video. So like, everybody just turned the song on and literally just get to jumping around. But we didn't know none of the videos that we put out, we didn't know that any of them was gonna do views or numbers. But Kanye West had tweeted it out, or like, I think Kanye or Meek Mill had tweeted out something I don't like, and we was like, oh, they watch. So after that, we just literally turned it up a notch, like, oh, we got the big people watching us, we just gonna keep going with it. So don't like definitely was like that breaking point for us.
And what do you think it was about you that made everybody so comfortable, invite you in their crib, invite you in their house, play all of these music, kind of give you the the power almost of their career? What do you think it was about?
I think it was my hustle. Like Dirk, I knew Dirk because we went to school together. I was in like 5th grade, 4th or something like that. So we grew up together for some years because we stayed in the same neighborhood. So he just randomly hit me on Facebook like, "Hey bro, I rap now. I see you shoot videos." So I'm like, "Let's do it." So I was shooting videos for this artist named King Louis. Then I was shooting for Dirk. And then it's like once they saw it, it was like, "Oh, that's hard. I want one." And then like everybody was reaching out on Facebook. Then Keith hit me on Facebook. And then Fredo hit me, then Lil Reed. And then it was just like I was just literally shooting for the whole city. So like I was literally like one of the only people like that had the drive and hustle. Like if you call me like, "Hey, I want to shoot a video," all right, I'm on the way. Like I probably was the only one that had a car. Like that Chief Keef, Blood No Thotties, that SRT Jeep, that was my Jeep. Like he was driving my car in the video. So and that's probably the reason too. I don't have a car. So they like, "Oh, he gonna pull up and he gotta wait on the ride."
That's real. I mean, I don't know if there's any other aspiring directors or photographers in there, but that's a gem right there. It's a sense of being a resource, even outside of what you think you know are doing. Like I remember I used to drive Metro Boomin to all his studio sessions. The one with the
I used to drink Kirk. Backseat little car. Like even with artists from Atlanta, like came to Atlanta early on. Rich the Kid, I'm picking up Rich the Kid, Skipper the Flipper, driving them to the studio set because I'm literally the only one that was like had motion because they knew me from the Chicago movement. So they like, "Hey, let's shoot some videos." So I'm literally picking Rich the Kid up from his house to go shoot a video for him and drop it back off. I was an Uber, sir.
I was lit. That's dope. That's dope. So tell me about just that your style when you came into shooting these music videos, because it's something that you've been able to obviously stay consistent with and keep going. It's been 10 plus years now of you being able to maintain a presence in hip hop. What do you think is the key to your longevity?
Well, back then when I was shooting, I had a unique style of like doing this slow motion that it was like so slow, it looked like it was a picture almost. Like the smoke was coming. Like I just started doing that, and like people, I'd be like, "Hey, I want some of that slow motion. I want some." Like so, I just started to make a look for myself, and it was really, honestly, it was really the grind and the hustle. Like I wasn't going to sleep at night. Like I'm staying up, sending stuff to blogs. So when they wake up, they got my link first because I was doing concert footage. And if you not the first person with the concert footage, the blog not gonna keep posting, "Oh, Waka Flocka live in Chicago, Waka Flocka." They gonna post whoever the first one, that's who getting posted. After that, it's like you just pretty much wasted your time. So I learned how to out hustle and outwork everybody to the point like you be everywhere. So I'm just making myself familiar. And then I just got better over time because I was working so much to teach myself how to do different stuff.
Nah, that's real. I could definitely relate to that. That's how I got my start. Of really getting my name. It was going to concerts, doing the exact same work. Go to the show, such in town, shoot the concert, shoot the most hype man, package it up before you go to sleep, and immediately send it out. And if you did that at part of the time, it World Star ever. You hit two Go Boys, you hit all these spots. And that was a way to just get my name to stay relevant. I want to just say this for real. Like I remember when you were doing your thing. I think you also had like DJing in Chicago that was filming. You are really inspired a whole wave of video directors to come about other parts. Atlanta. I know when I first started, a lot of people know me for photography work. How people know I used to shoot music videos? One person, damn. She wasn't with
They probably saw it, but they probably just didn't know.
I ain't had an intro like you.
I had to make some noise, man. You gonna know. So even if you ain't even by the computer, you know that sound.
I know. Okay. Now y'all the king of branding. I mean, even the fact that your videos live on your YouTube.
Yeah, they ain't fell about to. They didn't even
Share what?
Yes, I say. Purpose of my turn. I'm the reason World Star started their YouTube channel.
I believe it.
It was like because World Star was putting all their stuff from linking it from my channel to their website,
and you was getting all.
They was like, they get views. They literally had like 3 videos on their YouTube page. So there was a guy that worked that time, Jay from World Star. He was like, yeah, we need to start using our YouTube page. And then that's when they started their YouTube page. Now they got like 20 million.
Nah. But what do you have right now? I think I looked. It was like almost 3 billion at you.
Yeah. So I don't know if he be active on that page no more. I, more focus on the shooters only. So I was like, because like now it's kind of messed up because everybody got their own YouTube page. So like all the bigger artists I shoot, they put it on their own page. Back then, whoever shot the video was on their page. But now that people got labels involved and they know like, oh, we supposed to have our own. Now it's kind of hard to come.
Nah, I mean you all definitely sparked something. That was definitely something. I mean, had other cryptos doing. Atlanta has. I feel like they were a little hip on it, so I did direct music video, like Migos, Freak No More.
Listen here about. He make them language video. He got directed by Kirk this small, and nobody said.
Nah, man, I definitely should have took more from you. I had it always at the end of the video, like you got to start the video.
Oh no, you ain't gonna be able to get past the sign.
Yeah.
You gotta grasp some attention.
Nah, for sure. But I remember when I was starting out, like, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I used to look to a lot of your work, a lot of the other work that was coming out of Chicago, because that was formula for videos that were even haphazard worldwide. Whereas, like, you're just pulling up on an artist. It ain't really a lot of production value here, but it's just like, yo, just shoot. Like, we
record cat, dog, anything was B-roll. I don't care what it was. Somebody in the kitchen cooking. Like we literally, if you go back and look at those videos, we were shooting videos where the furnace was. Like it's like we just find anywhere in the house. Like, all right, we gonna shoot right here.
Nah, that's exactly like I remember looking at you all stuff, and when I shot music video for the Migos, a song called Ounces, we did that at Pee Wee's house, and it was like it reminded me of the era of the stuff that you were doing up in Chicago. When did you start to realize, like, you as a videographer, like, or did you realize how much intelligence you would bring into, like, really putting the world into a whole genre of music?
At that time, I didn't, because it was like everything was happening so fast. It was like I'm dropping 6-7 videos a week, 2 in one day. It's like it was just all like. That's why I said like sometimes you might be working so much you're not thinking. Like, I'm not thinking like, hey, I'm putting on a lot of people right now, but I'm just doing it and putting it out there. Like I'm just grinding, hustling. But I'm not thinking like we doing something. I think it'll probably be long time after you look back, you like, it's a lot of billionaires. I remember he had those shoes to wear. Like you look back on it, but during the time, I think nobody really understood the impact we was making or the eyes we had on us because we didn't know outside of Chicago. Like we never been on planes before or never been outside of our area. So they like, watching us, we shocked just everybody else. They like, I don't know who watching. So we just literally in the moment. I don't think nobody really realized on top later on.
And then when you actually started to make a headway in the industry, was there anybody like from a director standpoint that you did look to for inspiration? Did you take any cues from anybody else?
Was crazy? No, because I didn't really know nobody. I think the only person that I knew because he was on World Star so much was Jordan Towers. So like other than Jordan Towers, like I didn't know, like I didn't know a lot of stuff. So I didn't know like just go type in directed. Just type like I didn't know who to look for. Like when I watched the videos, I never looked at it to see who shot it. So at that time, I never really had nobody that I looked up to. I was just doing whatever, trying stuff like put this on there. So it's like I literally had nobody to ask and teach me. I just self-taught. Like I just felt like the big directors, like at the time, it was no like run and gun director. It's like I ain't no way I'm DM and Hype Williams. Like, hey, help me out to do this video. Like Hype Williams or Director X. It was like them people was out of reach. So it was like you just on your own.
And now when you look back, I had the privilege of bumping into you on one of your sets out at Magic, and you had like so many people working the crew, all this equipment. When you look back at how you started, it was a one-man when you first started, just you?
It was just me, but my book bag and some lights. Probably some Home Depot lights, them super bright lights. Yeah, so it was literally just me pulling up every video shoot by myself. That whole drill movement, I didn't even have an assistant because I literally did all those videos, shot, edited myself. I never had, like, I didn't even know what an assistant was. I thought you just had to do it yourself. Until I found out, my mom like, yeah, I shot it, but my homie edited it. I'm like, ain't that cheap? Like, I thought you had to edit your own stuff. Like, I never, still to this day, I think I probably had, and this is like recent, like within last year, I had somebody edit 2 videos, but my whole career, nobody has ever edited anything. Like, I thought that was cheating. I didn't know you could have somebody.
Goes right.
Yeah, I'm like, you can't do that. This ain't your work. But the whole time, people having editors or this, but I didn't know that. We didn't know what we.
So when you got to actually maybe step onto a major set, just see like, wow, it could be 20, 30 people playing a different role when you realize, like, I used to do every single role. Like, tell me about that point of enlightenment, how that maybe inspired you now a little different.
Yeah, I felt crazy. I'm like, so it'd be 20 of y'all, this one of me? Like, I didn't know that it'd be a person for lighting, a person that do the camera, a person that, I'm thinking that it's literally just one, like, because when a video come on, it's like directed by Hype Williams. So I'm thinking Hype Williams the only one shooting the video. So I get there, oh, it's 50 y'all on this set. Oh, it's just Hype Williams here. So what I did is like, oh, it's way easier. You get more creative juices for where you can just sit back and literally direct the project. You got one person handling this, one person handling this, and it's easier. So I honestly never thought that I would ever be on those set like that. I'm like, I used to watch like Access Granted with BET, and I'm like, I'd never be like this. This is too much. Like, but I just kept working, and it just came like, and I looked up, I'm doing it. I didn't necessarily ever, like, it wasn't a goal because I'm thinking it's so out of reach. Like, there's no way I'd be able to shoot a big one.
It's dope. So tell me about, I think we all are in the midst of some sort of a video renaissance that where I feel like when you started, all had a wave where video was everything. And I feel like even I was a director trying to shoot everything with video. And then when Instagram really took off, things kind of went to photo heavy. And I feel like, you know, artists would shoot less videos when maybe we're taking shoots or just posting photos all day. And I feel like right now we're back to where everything has to be video, everything has to be motion. Tell me just about your journey, how you've been able to kind of weather like certain storms, or was it ever a storm where, was there ever a point where you felt that like people ain't shooting as much this, I gotta pivot or that and that?
I think it came from like, I think my like come up was a good thing and a bad thing for me. Because it was so many people like daily still, like I know hundreds and hundreds of people that's like, you're the reason I shoot video. So it's like, you really just took my job. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, but it's like I mess with that. Like, it's cool to see people, but like when I was shooting, it wasn't that many people that shot music. Like, it was probably like one person each state. Like, you like, okay, Atlanta, you know, Cam Kirk. Oh, you say this state, you know, this person. Now it's 1 million each state. So it was like, now it's like, oh, we just don't call a person that's sitting right next to me. Why would I fly him out? And it's somebody literally that's with me all the time. Or so it kind of was like okay, I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna stay relevant, being that it's so many people that's like they sending me videos like, look, bro, I just shot a video for this person. I'm like, I didn't shot no, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's like they come to me behind the scene like, hey, can you help me? So I mean, it was like I said, it was a good thing and a bad thing, but I just had to figure out ways to stay above board and just keep my name in the mix, whether it just be I just one big video for the year and they get 200 million views just to keep my name afloat, or just doing some behind the scenes work or something like that. But it was definitely a storm in a sense because there's just so many people that shoot video.
And is that it? Taking it from there, is that kind of what inspired mission for shooters with the freestyles and all that? Is that kind of what sparked it? Just trying to new ways to stay on the radar.
Yeah, for sure. Because I had stopped like shoot music videos because I felt like it was the same thing. Like every time somebody hit me for a video, I'm like, before they asked me for a treatment, I'm like, well, what ideas do you have? And that way I can just bounce. Everybody would say the same thing. I want a trap house, a car, and some girls. It's like I felt like I was doing that every 2 days. So I was like, it's not fun. Like when I was shooting videos and we just pull up doing it, it was fun. But then it was like, bro, I did this 100 times. It's only so many colors I can change the video to before they all start looking the same. So I kind of like paused on the music videos and I went back to that board space in a sense because I wasn't shooting. So I was like, I had a platform, but I wasn't using it. So I'm like, we just figured something out or something to do to use the platform. And me and my wife was driving one day, and I was just like, what if I put a microphone just in the middle of the hood? And she was like, it might work. So I just started brainstorming names. I'm like, from my block, on the block, from my hood. We just brainstorming names. So I came up with from the block, and I'm like, all right, cool. I just did it that one time, and I think it took them about 2 weeks to start stealing the hill. And everybody, I think everybody in the world right now outside with a microphone. But yeah, it definitely came from me just branching off into doing new things. But there be people still to this day don't even know I'm behind it. Like they think it's just for shooters only company that just came out of nowhere, started hanging the mic.
Let me ask you this. Prefer to stay in the shadows?
Oh, I mean, I was never really big on like I got to be in the spotlight or take a picture of me or say I'm here. Or like I really don't. As long as it's working, like it's cool. Like I'm not really big on have to be in like the face of it. Like if it's working, it's working. I feel like people that know, they know. Like Chris Brown, DM my page was like, hey, I like what y'all doing. I want to do one. So it's like people that know, they know. So it's just like people watch and they know like, oh yeah, I know you. Some people from the outside that just watching the platform, they might.
Let me ask you this. I'm wondering if you can relate to this. When the internet kind of took off, I feel like there was a time where you could literally go around like here, like just making videos in your backyard or doing something little to kind of one of the most well known in the world. In a certain sense, will allow you to skip a lot of the steps along the journey of like developing your craft or having to go from a PA to a camera to a this. We were able to kind of jump straight as director to like one of the most famous directors. Do you think that, I know that happened in my journey where I feel like I went from like those $50 videos to like you can't afford it. Like immediately, then it's like, do you think that has like a negative effect of just like growing too fast and have to notice anything like that in your career?
Oh, all the way is negative in a way when somebody asks you something you don't know what they talking. Like when you just go from being a videographer and then you get booked for a big set, they was like, who gonna be your DP? I'm like, yeah, my cousin gonna be it. They like talking about it. They like, who gonna be the PA? I'm not knowing what none of this mean. I ain't never had no DP, PA, or so I'm just looking. So I think as far as the technical stuff, it kind of like hindered in a sense, because if I go to a room and somebody like, hey, what frames you shooting at? 24 or 60? 60? I'm like, dang, I gotta go look that up. I don't know what he talking about. Like I never said like, I don't know what I'm doing. I had to go figure it out after. But I think by not taking those steps of being starting off as this, then go to this, graduate to this, it just helped. It just mess you up as far as knowing technical stuff, going from just me pulling up to a video shoot to me going to a big set. You got the DP like, you want to shoot this at 60 or 24? Which one to say? I just said 60 because it was a higher number. But really, I must be shooting at 24. But so it was like, I just said the bigger number. So he was like, yeah. I'm like, so I get home, just slow motion. I'm like, bro, you know you shot the video in slow motion. He said, you said 60. I'm like, I did say 60. You right. Then I'll go to Google and like, oh yeah, I told him the wrong number. So that's the only thing I think probably messed it up for real, is just going from me with a camera to the big crew.
Yeah, that's a fact. I literally went from, like I said, those $50 days. I probably went the next week and I got this opportunity to shoot this video for Future on his first album, Pluto. Y'all will never see it if it never came. But it's never made. Hey, wow. They canned it. It was trash. The video was Did you know what was doing? Nah, but I was smart. What I did was I hired my OG Chilio. I hired like a crew to just make.
Don't throw his mother the butt.
Nah, he ain't do a bad job.
Hey, look, he back there with his hand up. Like, yeah, I was there. Like it was a good thing. Yeah, that's me.
Nah, we did our best.
Okay.
I didn't even know what to charge. Like I'm taking $2,500 for a music video that had like 10 different scenes, 10 different locations, all this.
You probably
What? And it's been money. Booked the studio. It was just wild.
you would have down lay on the course to be on 2 by. Yeah, I know. I know how I go.
Not exactly how it went. The reason why the video never came out, he showed up. We had a studio book for 5 hours. He showed up 4.5 hours late. He had 30 minutes late. And ironically, kid in play had booked the studio after his mad ran. So he was going hard. Like, y'all kids, like, got out. What? I need studio next. Yeah. So Future showed up late, then wore this is when like YouTube, MTV was big, so you had to really be cautious about what clothes you, because they would just censor your out. So this man wore a whole Louis Vuitton scarf on his whole head. So the whole video, they was like, this video, only way this video could come out is if you put a blur. Oh, I can flow these days. At home. Nah, yeah, it is. He put a.
That happened to me, but it was a shirt. Dirk wore a whole Gucci printed shirt. So now in the video, he just got a blurry shirt. He look like a see-through shirt.
Nah, that's the worst. That's the worst. But I definitely can just relate to that. Just thinking like, I knew I knew how to set, I know how to position better. I wouldn't kind of just took this crazy. I would actually do the process. Hey, bro, you can't wear that because this is gonna happen if you do that, and I could call them.
You know, you gotta get her and all, like you do, and you shooting for Future. He's like, whatever he say, like, okay, you like, hey, you want to do a scene? Sure, you like, yeah, that'd be hard. And really, yeah. But it's like you're not gonna want to tell him no or think, because you don't know the person.
Nah, in fact,
man, get off the set. You done messed it up. So it's like you really just gotta roll with the flow. Like it can say in the email, no Louis Vuitton scarf. People over the scarf, be like, man, we'll figure it out. You can make the scarf.
and he said it was cool. We said
Right.
Nah, it definitely took me a minute to gain my confidence. I mean, even like the early photo work I did, people like photo with Gucci, but like I tell people every day, like first of all, I was sneaking that. I was too nervous to ask Gucci. Actually, never take a photo. So I snuck. That's why he's never looking at any of early photos of me and Gucci. Never looked at. I was sneaking the camera. I was sneaking that picture. I was like a scooter. That was my access. So still gonna go Google and stop. Like this.
Right.
Bro, that picture. Oh yeah. Stories. I was already. I ain't heard all the stories, but picture. Everybody look at it now, like, man, that was so classic. You made it black and white. I'm like, man, I made it black and white because I didn't know how to edit. I didn't even know how to edit. Actually, color. I knew like black and white looked dope. Nothing wasn't black and white. I didn't know how to change the saturation and contrast. I'm just like, I click this button, all the color went away. That's it. So I think back, just for me, like that time, just like if I really would have took the time to learn my craft, to had mastered on back then, I probably would have been 10 times further in my career, but it takes time to journey. I had to learn a lot on the fly, like you said, making mistakes and hearing words you never heard before and going back and researching and trying to figure out, trying to figure it out. So I just want to throw that out there to y'all, like, if you all want to get into whatever it is, of your practices, fashion, music, art, whatever it is, make sure you take the time to study the craft, learn the craft. And then once you study and learn the craft, it's so much more easier to manipulate your own style. Once you actually know what it is you're doing, you have a lot more control over the work and over what you're doing. I want to take some questions from the audience. It's a crowd control conversation, and I don't want to be up here just hawking all my questions. How to get it out? I'm a big fan. Anybody have any questions from the audience? A little back.
Hi, my name is Tia Rice. I'm a junior at Clark University, Mass Media Arts major. And my question is, basically just listening to what you guys are talking about and saying how like you guys had to do like trial and error and really like find your voice. So I want to know like how you guys begin to know your worth and then how you guys learn how to articulate that worth to other people so they can respect it.
Want to go first?
I ain't gonna lie. Learning and knowing my work was a process. I'll speak for myself here. I came up obviously 2 toes down in the music industry. The music industry has a high level of disrespect for cameraman and photographers. I'm gonna just be real, be honest. Um, so many artists to this day, were probably just addressing me as cameraman. Hey, you, hey, and he do this. Hey, we like. Oh yeah, it was tight. Nah, well, it took a while, and it took a few of us on the stage. It was, it took a minute, but at the beginning, it was so hard to see your value, to see your worth, because you're kind of being minimized so often. So I used to do a lot of work at low values. I didn't think any of that stuff possible to make a lot of money. And I'll be honest, I started the studio in like 2017. It was in 2017 when I realized that I was like not charged the right rates. I was literally with photographer in Chicago's named Jesse the Road. I met him on a rodeo tour, and when I was on tour with Travis Scott, and he was calling me because he looked at me like peer. He was calling me about photography, how many young photographers come in and charge the pennies, and he was like, "You got these young photographers doing shoots for $500? Da 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 da. You know they should be charging 20,000." And I'm literally, you can say that's me. What you got? I'm just like, yeah, him. Grip, you right? Yeah, another you get 2,000. Like, what's up? Yeah, like, I'm a pound, and this is it on the phone, having that conversation. Nah, they ain't doing it like that. People doing that. So you see the little son, who's he working? I don't know, real up there, but I'm like, so it's a process. So it took me a while to actually start to study. And then when you start to study the industry, you start to learn. So that when it comes to being a photographer and when it comes to being a videographer. And Zay mentioned how, you go to these sets, you see 50 people there. I like to always say, anywhere you see a grown man, it's a grown man rating. So if you go on a project and you see 50 grown men working on that project, 50 grown men had to get paid one. So the price points are much higher. So the more people you can add, more justification you can add on to your price. So I started to realize that at that time I was a one-man show. So I'm like, how can I just $20,000? I don't know my lighting effort. I don't have a digitech. I don't have all these other roles onto the set, a producer. How can I adjust? It doesn't. But the reason why they get values budgets because they have so many roles, like, and all of those roles garner a certain number of budget that gets your value up. So for me, it took almost embarrassed other than the phone and hear people are really making it. So sometimes you do gotta see it to believe it, hear it to believe it. Sometimes for me, it took that. Once it happened, I realized, I really need to learn what this industry works. I kind of stopped with directing a little bit and moved more at photography. So photography, I'll give this to any photographers out there. They're all you should be charging for every shoot. It's not just your photographer. Photography is just to show up. That's literally supposed to get paid. You just have to spend your physical time in that space, click your camera. There's a whole nother fee for them to be able to use the photos that you took. That's a whole separate cost. It's not the same. So you can pay me to just come take you, but that don't mean you can use it until you pay. And then you got your equipment. You got so many different line items that you can literally charge for. And a lot of photographers don't know that. So when they come to a set or they work with they first time work with a brand, they don't ask for all these different line items. So they only get paid when photographers rate base. So they're trying to hit you with like a day rate. Most of the time, day rate is, unless you just like, your day rate might really not be high, but your usage rate for them to use it could be worth $20,000 and $50,000. Depending what you don't, but that's what the money could be at. So you got to know all these different points to charge of a machine. It works the same way with the director. You can get paid to just shoot the video. That's technically supposed to be a price for production, editing. And then there's a price for color correction. And there's a price for editing. And there's a price for graphics that go onto the video. There's a price for animation. There's a land. Why? Get that. You can do it. But But you have all these different things you can charge for. So that's how I learned my value was actually being in affairs and then actually understand industry and know how people actually justify budgets, how to make sense. And then everybody trying to respect your values. I realized anyone in the music industry doesn't respect it. That don't make sense. Because the music industry is a marketing place. They know like the marketing that I give you is a payment or compensation in itself. So you gotta go where people actually respect the way that those rings work. And a lot of times for me, that was commercial space. Obviously, you should like pull Adidas. That's what they understand everything I'm saying.
Yeah, I think my story is pretty much the same too. Like I really didn't know my worth until I was starting to do certain have my own look and people know like I have to go to him to get that look. So now I can charge more because like can't just go to anybody and get this same sauce. You gotta pay me. So then that's when I started to realize like, okay, if this person charging $200, I know I can charge $5 because to me it looked better. And if everybody want this look and they have to come to me, I can, have a certain type of worth that they gonna have to charge to pay it. So it's like either you can pay it or go to, what I'm saying, or being cheap. Or I just learned from once I got to working with labels and they got to offering me stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay, I can get this much. Now I know when I hit up another label, if they hit me, I can charge this much. So it really went from like offers from labels, like I can see how they view me like, oh, you the number one guy out here, so we gonna give you this. I'm like, okay, cool. They starting to value the work more, but it's hard. Like it's hard to say like starting off like, what do I charge? Like you just started shooting photos yesterday. It's like it's hard. Sometimes you have to just do it for free to get your name. I just shot a lot of free music videos to get a portfolio. So let me see some of your work. They're like, okay, cool. They're gonna base it off your work. So by you perfecting your craft, it's just gonna make your budgets higher and higher. Because once you show them the work, well, oh yeah, for sure, we don't have no problem with paying if it's gonna look like that. So it's really just trial and error and just working and getting higher and higher. It's hard, definitely starting off.
That's a fact. That's
What was a turning point or experience that made you actually think about your branding, your logo, and marketing? And what was the process like? Did you lose out on a gig because of branding, or like what was that process like?
I think I was accidentally branded. Like I didn't know I was branding, but I was just putting my name on everything because I did it. Because I feel like I was doing something free. Like all the early work from all the cheap keys and dirt, like I didn't get paid for none of it. So I'm like, if I ain't getting paid, somebody at least gonna know I did it. But I didn't know that was called branding. I'm just like, I did the videos, I'm putting my name on it. You know what I mean? So I think that I didn't have like a set, like, okay, I know to drop the video, make sure my name is in the middle and the beginning. Like, I literally just accidentally start branding because I just felt like if I'm not getting paid from it, at least I get some views. Like that's how I looked at it. So I was branded all along, but I didn't know I was branded. So it was probably, I don't know if Cam was different for him, but I literally didn't know what branded was. I was just putting my name.
That's real. I mean, I think it was a few turning points. I think number one, my journey, it closely with a rapper youngster. So first with a local artist, I watched thousands of show, Club Cruise, running his bag all the way up to 40,000 a show before he got locked up. So I got the first and you would watch go local on a global or national vein. So I got to see branding in real time where artists see builds. And then when he got locked up, I met Metro Boomin and Morehouse at the dorms. And then we worked together and I got to see a producer now take his brand, go a dorm room, dropping out of college, superstar. You know what I mean? He used a very similar formula to what them schools do, just the artist. So for me, what it was, I was never really thinking the camera was gonna be my just like down, bet you or something. But when I was working the camera, I kept getting on those every time I was trying to come up under somebody else. Every time I was coming being in the line position. Like every single time, I'm about to go work for this person. I'm gonna go do this. No, I had an opportunity to be Future's assistant. Did 2 interviews for it. And the second interview, they told me you got to get rid of your camera if you're gonna be an assistant. I said, cool. Never heard from you again after. Like, it was just like, I was almost just like, you bugging. Even though it's like, multiple stuff got car broken into, they took everything but my camera. Like, little stuff, weird stuff, like weird signs. So, for me,
Working the cleaning solution.
what the kind of, they what, yeah, the last, yeah, so I've had so many no's that and editing stuff like, this what you meant to do with this time to actually stop hearing no by like being controlled destiny. So that's literally 2015 is the day I say that my life changed. And I was coming off I was coming off a tour that I was supposed to get paid. Only I ever thought came off the tour, never got paid. I was broke as hell. And I had nothing. I spent my whole savings trying to be on this tour. And I told myself to that day, I told myself, if I ever wanted to actually speak out somebody that happens, I can't compete without a voice. So if I ever wanted to just call one out or defend up to myself, I have to have a platform to do it. So on that day, I was like, it's time for actually a thing for people to know that. So like I said, I was led out of my negativity that then forced to the push me out, be like, you never want to hear no again and create your own. And that's what we do here at Camp Kirk Studios. My own word. No one else knows. I wake up, we do whatever we want to do. This conference is what I wanted to do. Talking to Zay to do on Monday. So we hear it. So that's kind of led me to, the lifestyle I have now is just never want to be told no again. But Eric can answer the question. Is that a rep?
Yeah, about 4 he's a lot of questions up here.
All right.
She said she finna come grab them.
Okay. I think more than mentorship is for like 'cause everybody may not have access to a physical mentor. Everybody may not see someone in the flesh that's literally what you wish to do. But what you all do have access to is people's journeys and people's stories through whether it's social media, through interviews. I know I've done a ton of it. So I'm sure there's a ton of interviews where a lot of people can be your digital mentor by just waffling their stories and learning their process or where it came. So I might not have never really had like a day-to-day physical mentor, but that mentor, a lot of successful people I've never met just by, open to watching, to study, to, be humble enough to learn this person. Even if this person isn't necessarily more successful than me, I might just watch here. I sat here most of the panels today because listen, it's everybody. So I think it's important that you're seeking knowledge and that you are learning from others' success and failures through whatever means you can. So you have the ability to physically talk to someone, you should always do that. But if you don't, utilize your phone on the internet, and everybody's story is on there. Everybody's journey is on. You can find it where they went wrong. You can look at someone's Instagram and see the progression of someone's career. This was we went from this to this. See how you posted and everything. So we have access to let the whole world be a mentor.
Definitely, I feel like, and then like we said with the internet, YouTube was the no part for his. Like back then when he started, it wasn't no typing in on YouTube to see how to do this, how to do that. But now it's like everything is laid out on the internet. If you don't have that person that Cam Kirk that you just bump into. Like, hey, I got some questions for you. Like, you could go type in Cam Kirk interview, AZ production interview, and just learn digitally. Like, because if we did it without learning digitally, because it wasn't that many platforms or interview people back then, or people wasn't interviewing video. We was lame. Like, oh, that's just the cameraman. Yeah, hey, go in the back. But now, like, we literally changed the game. Like, I'm coming to video shoot, taking more pictures than the rapper. They're like, man, y'all supposed to be here for me. I'll take a picture with him. But it's like we just literally changed the game on camera or videographers being nerds. Like, everybody's like, you was a nerd if you shot video. Like, oh, he's just a geek or a nerd. But we literally changed the game to where it's like my homie Jerry, I just saw him buy a track off. Yeah, Benz, Patek. It's like camera people wasn't doing it. Like, it's like we literally like changed the game, but you can literally follow all of our stories on YouTube. You can type in anybody that you look up to, and I'm pretty sure it's some online that you can learn from, or they'll tell you the stuff that they've been through. Like, he said, I shot a video for Future, but it never came out, but he still found the way around to see a point that could have been a changing point for him, that video coming out, but he still made it. Definitely use the internet. It's the number one. It's free. Besides your phone. No, for sure. No, for sure.
What founders of Love Renaissance is actually going to take this to a whole nother level if you actually are interested in getting into the music industry. They got a lot of gems, so I don't want to hog the stage right now, so we're going to pass the plate. But we appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all stick around. We got some amazing people coming.
Proved it.
I know you had the remix, right?
Oh. Niggas is mad, I get more butt than ass trees. Fuck the fair one.